What's up? I've had a lot of astral projection experiences. Last night, it was kind of funny. I kept flying around. I was trying to go to a specific place. I'm not going to say where, but I kept having trouble doing it, and I was just shifting from place to place and place to place. And finally, I started to fall into a dream, and I was so frustrated. A dream character came up to me, and I punched it, and I was like, "Get the hell away from me, dream character." It was pretty funny. I never made it to where I was trying to go, so finally I gave up and came back and kind of wrote my experience down. But I've had a lot of experiences lately. I'm going to share a couple with you. Okay. I began to have a dream and realized it. I started to fly. When flying, I lifted my hands and said, "Clarity now." I wanted to go for a real-time projection because I was in a dream. So I guess I went from a lucid dream to a projection. So I started the rope technique. Soon I seen my hands in front of me going through the energy. As I was doing like this, everything was kind of gray and black shades. I couldn't see really well. And I was doing the rope technique, and I could feel my chakras. I could feel the energy as I was doing that. Okay? So I could see the energy rippling too. As I moved my hands through it, I could see it ripple. It was awesome. I pushed out of body, and I swam into my backyard. I was in my bedroom, and I swam out through the back wall, out into the backyard. It was amazingly clear. So clear, so beautiful. I could smell the greenery, the leaves of the trees. There was a mist in the air, and it felt great. I could smell it as well. I was so amazed at the clarity of my smell, feeling, and sight. The trees had what looked like figs growing on them. Another one where my pear tree was had something else growing on it. I reached up for a low-hanging branch, and I pulled it down. You know, it was just it just broke and came away. Okay, I decided to fly. I seen the back of my house. It was in the backyard. There was a mist in the air. I turned around. I see the back of my house, and I wanted to fly. I started to lift up slowly and kind of glide towards my house. And the mist turned to snow, and I could see it falling down on my roof, and I could feel it, you know. And I got to my roof because I was floating, and I kind of put my hand on it, and as I made my way around the side of the house, that's where my bedroom is, I started to get weak, and everything went black, and I was integrating back into my body. What had happened is, as I flew up to that side of the house where my room was, basically my body kind of pulled me back into it. So that's what happened there. But it was awesome. Okay, I seen a pinhole of light in the dark, and I started the rope technique. I felt myself rise up, then be sucked down and spun around. Soon I was loose. My vision went from black to light. I was in a grocery store, looking in a mirror. I seen I had a uniform on, and started to wonder about that. I decided to change it with my mind. So, as I did that, a fluctuation kind of happened. I was half in a uniform and half in a like a soccer outfit. That was even weirder than the uniform, right? And it was kind of fluctuating, right? So I lifted my hands and said, "Clarity now," and everything just straightened out, okay? And everything was perfectly clear, okay? After lifting my hands, I said, "Clarity now, awareness now," I stabilized. I was in a very clear, well-lit grocery store. I was in a floral department. I glided towards a table, and there were vases on it. I tapped one of them, and it tipped over. I started to feel someone from behind pushing me, leading me somewhere. I turned to see who it was, and I said, "Who are you?" He was a short man between 35 and 45, scraggly with a beard. He said his name. I'm not going to say his name. And he pushed me back into another department behind the counter But when I glided behind the counter, it was like a library. Soon a man approached, taller, civilized-looking guy. I lifted my hands and demanded clarity and awareness, and he grabbed my hands and said to me, non-verbally, to focus, that he had something he wanted to share with me. I said, "Oh, what do you got?" He said something along the lines of notes, writing tips. It was becoming hard to focus, and I felt myself phasing back in the body. Suddenly everything went black. I took a moment to gather my experience and recorded it. I hate when that happens, you know. You can remember talking to someone, but you can't remember exactly what they say, you know. And they could be trying to tell you something important, but it's hard to actually remember an entire conversation that you have with someone, you know. You might remember bits and pieces of it, but not the whole thing, you know. It'll make you mad when you remember that they were saying it was something important, you know. Then you're like, what in the hell was it? You know, you just don't remember. Okay. This was like, I guess, an expanded energy body kind of hallucination. I don't know. You know, it was just kind of weird. I gave a big push upwards against my body and went a little deaf. I did it again and pushed out into my expanded body. There was a guy and a girl. I felt chakra activity, and I tried to ignore it. I started to, I don't know, where the man and the woman looked like they were experimenting on me. I stayed very calm because I thought, you know, it's just a hallucination, you know. So I was very calm. It looked like she inserted something, and I said, "Hey, have you ever been punched in the face?" She laughed, and I said, "Well, now you have," and punched her. Then I hear a very calm man's voice say, "Okay, man, come on back now." And I did. Which, that was just a really odd experience. I don't know what to think about that one. But I figured I would share it with you anyways. I wouldn't really punch somebody in the face, but, you know. Anyways, very odd experience. But just wanted to share with you guys. Thanks.